What was your first ever Sonic game? For me, it was Sonic Adventure DX on the GameCube. I have a lot of fond memories of running through Station Square, defeating Eggman's robots with the simplest of ease, and going fishing for some reason. Even as a kid, I didn't really think that made much sense, but I digress. There was, however, one place in the game where I spent more time than anywhere else, and I'm sure you can guess where this is going. Stumbling into that elevator in the Emerald Coast Hotel met me with a strange location devoid of enemies, but full of charm. The Chao Garden. What a wonderful little paradise in an otherwise fast and frantic game. It was here I learned the value of caring for your offspring. And it also instilled into me the value that I would never want to have real children because I don't want to see my fellas falling into a pool every 12 seconds and me having to help them. I just got better things to do in life, man. I don't know what to tell you. For those who don't know, back in the GameCube days, there was this nifty little device called the Game Boy Advance. And thanks to whatever dark magic Nintendo was smoking back then, we were able to interface the Game Boy Advance with the GameCube using this amazing little device called the Game Boy GameCube Player. Now, back around the time of the Game Boy Advance, Sega decided to pull out of the console market, so we have Sonic Advance, the first ever Sonic game that was put on a Nintendo device. And it was thanks to this, and the later release of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and Sonic Adventure DX, that we get to today's topic. Taking cues from its Dreamcast predecessor and the VMU support, where you could cart your Chao around on that funny little memory device, Sega brought back that functionality using the Game Boy GameCube player and giving us the tiny Chao Garden. By connecting the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube system, you were able to transfer your Chao from Sonic Adventure DX or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle to your Game Boy Advance copy of Sonic Advance or Sonic Advance 2. Sure, when you sent the Chao over to the GBA, it would lose a little bit of its visual flair from the GameCube titles, but it would retain its name and its stats, and I would hope its purpose and sense of personality. Otherwise, this is like an ego death to behold. It was in the tiny Chao Garden that you could play games to earn rings, feed your Chao special fruits that would increase their stats, and buy unique eggs which you could transfer back to the game of your choice, because only one Chao could be in the tiny Chao Garden at a time. Now, this was very beloved amongst literally everybody who experienced it, because the Chao Garden is the best thing that's ever been invented in the history of everything. So, of course, after Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 were left behind in the past, Sega to never make a game like them ever again, except for that one in '06 that we don't talk about, so was the Chao Garden itself. We have not seen another Chao Garden or anything like it in any Sonic game since these titles. Unless, of course, you count the ports of Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2 to modern consoles, which unfortunately now lack the tiny Chao Garden compatibility. I am a firm believer that the ports of Sonic Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 on Steam are the best you can possibly play because they have mod support, which allows you to fix every little problem that the ports have, but we still don't have the tiny Chao Garden. Tiny Chao Garden DX? What is this, some kind of... Whoa. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! I just scared the shit out of my cat making that noise. I'm so sorry, Daisy. Allow me to recompose myself. The Tiny Chao Garden DX is an extremely new fan project made in the Game Maker engine that actually brings us Tiny Chao Garden compatibility for the PC versions of Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2. What do you know? There is a god. After Tiny Chao Garden DX is installed, you can boot that up and see you get a free Chao. I think it's got a random name. Mine was named Honey, most likely after the cat or the snack, I guess. From this window, you can pet your Chao, you can pluck weeds in exchange for rings, you can find the minigames from Sonic Advance 1, but not the ones from Advance 2, unfortunately. And also, check out the stat menu and options menu over to the right to increase the resolution size, and ultimately click the button to import/export your Chao, but we'll get to that in a second. Quick note, I Am All of Me is not part of Tiny Chao Garden DX. That's just what I was listening to when I was recording this footage, and I decided to leave it in because I thought it was very funny. I'm going to show you exactly how this thing works, what programs you need, and then you get to go play Sonic and have fun for once. First off, obviously, you need a copy of Sonic Adventure 1 or Sonic Adventure 2 on Steam. Please buy them on Steam. They are like $5 on sale most of the time. You will then need to grab Tiny Chao Garden DX from Game Banana, which I will link in the description below, and the Chao Exporter/Importer. Alright, here we go with our first real step. I'm booting up Sonic Adventure 2, but this process will also work for Sonic Adventure 1, and oh my goodness, I have said those game titles a lot during this video so far. Make sure that you've also installed the Chao Exporter/Importer, and head over to the Tiny Chao Garden. And by that, I mean the regular size Chao Garden, sorry. Was jumping the gun there. Once you reach the Chao Garden of your choice, make sure you have Chao in the garden, and then check the Chao Importer window. You should see all of the Chao that you have listed there. This will be our pawn for the day. This is Bluefus, the Chao that I've edited to hell and back with the Chao editor, so now he is the ultimate life form. You're going to want to go into the list here on Chao Importer, click the slot of the Chao that you would like to export or import, and then export the Chao to a location of your choice, and make sure you know where it is so you can find it later. And just like that, we're basically done with the whole process already. Now we're going to go back to the Tiny Chao Garden, and if you have a Chao here already, you're going to need to click that button to export the Chao, so Honey will be saved to the desktop for later. And then once the Tiny Chao Garden is empty, you can click the button again, double-click the Chao file that you just exported from your Sonic Adventure title, and bam, bam, turkey and ham, here he is. It's Bluefus in all of his 32-bit glory. If we look at his stats, we can see they're the exact same as they were on the GameCube. Of course, he's just lacking his animal parts because it doesn't have support for that. And from here, you're able to pet your Chao, feed them extra fruit to upgrade their stats, such as what I'm doing here for his flight level, play some mini games, and remember how terrible you are at memorization games, or maybe that's just me. And when you want to send Bluefus back to the game of your choice, you just export the Chao using that little menu like we did with Honey before. Head back into the game of your choice, open the Chao Importer/Exporter, click an empty slot or the slot of the Chao you were using previously, click Import, load the file, leave the garden, come back, and Bluefus has returned to the third dimension. You can see there his flight level has even increased, as we saw in the Tiny Chao Garden. And from here, you're free to send your Chao back and forth and throw them back into the Chao Karate tournament so they can kick some butt or die trying. Now, I know the Tiny Chao Garden doesn't amount to a crazy amount of content, but for all intents and purposes, this was a feature that has been lost to time. Could it be nostalgia talking when I say this is one of the coolest things I've seen in recent memory? Yes. But also, someone took the time out of their day to bring to life a feature that I think a lot of us probably have very fond memories of. So what are you guys waiting for? I've given you all the information you need to start re-experiencing this wonderful piece of Sonic history, so please let me know down in the comments below what you get to do with your Chao now that you can take them on the go again, and let us know what is your favorite Chao's name, if you can pick favorites between your children like that. Thanks so much for checking this video out, and if you liked this video and you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, click the bell, follow my Twitter, and join the Discord to keep up with more Sonic and other things that aren't Sonic, because I do a lot of things. I'd also like to give a huge thank you to my current channel supporters, who are Common CJ, Keo Cartoons, Noah Wizbios, Mr. Dreamcast, Roscoe TGC, Jacob Sapper, Danny Lee Dauber, Jeremy, Dax, Faye, Minty, Mega Traffic Cone, Scratch's Junkyard, Ty Little Tech Guy, Crystal, Dork in a Hat, Gino the Puppet, and Noah Wizbios again. Thank you also to everyone in the $1 tier. I really appreciate the support, and if you'd like to join these wonderful people getting shoutouts either at the beginning or the end of these videos, please go ahead and click the join button below, and you also get a little badge next to your name in the comments below, and also emotes to use in your comments. I believe you also appear on my channel's homepage in the little thanks for supporting section, and you're really just helping me out a lot. You're helping me do what I love doing, making these videos, and I really appreciate that. So thank you. I hope you guys have a wonderific day, and I will see you all next time.